Hi, welcome back to Lakeside Quilt Making Arts. I am Dawn, and I'm Dawn at the Lake. That's why the nickname for this channel is Dawn at the Lake. I am on a journey of exploring everything I can about the art of quilt making. It's my initiative to do kind of a personal vlog style YouTube channel so that other newbies like myself can be encouraged that there is a journey involved. Not all of us can be a Nick Jarrett. Did you see Ricky Tim's live this past Wednesday? Oh my gosh. He interviewed Nick Jarrett, who won all kinds of ribbons with his very first quilt. Okay, we're not all like that. Not all of us are, gifted to be a savant quilter. So we have to have our own little personal journey of ups and downs. And I created this channel to do just that, share the ups and downs of that roller coaster, because it is a journey. And, we just don't start off being pros. I started off in the 90s, got discouraged, kind of felt like my time needed to be better spent, being a mom and a wife and taking care of the home, taking care of the kids and that kind of stuff. And so I just packed everything up and didn't touch it until a year and a half ago. And, in case you can't tell, that was more than a minute ago. Okay, so my friends, in today's video, I'm going to be telling you why I'm playing with this box in my hands while I'm talking to you. And it has to do with the Jen Kingwell Pick a Petal Block of the Month that's on my design wall over here. This is a block of the month that's being done with the Quilt Show. Barbara Black gives updates every month on the Quilt Show's YouTube channel and also on her blog. BB Quilter, I think, is the entirety of the URL for her blog. I'm not sure. I'll look it up whenever I'm editing and put it down below. So Barbara gives some fantastic tips and instructions, and that's really why I've signed up to do this block of the month. And there's two others that you don't see this off screen here. One of them is the Piece and Quilt Sampler that's being done with the Fat Quarter Shop, and Kimberly Jolly and Pat Sloan is doing it, Sherry McConnelly's doing it, and I'm not sure who else is doing it, but several are doing it because I learned by watching others, right? That's my thing. I'm the second born child. I was always looking at my brother to see what he was getting in trouble for doing, and I'm like, okay, check mark, I'm not doing that. So I like to learn from watching others. So the other sew along is on the wall, and that's the Motive Blockheads. Talk about getting a lot of instruction. Oh, that is a fantastic sew along. You get so much instruction. I get so challenged on each one of those blocks as I'm being challenged big time on everything of the Pick a Petal. And that's what I signed up for. I wanted to dive into the deep end and learn as much as I possibly could at one time. And I am. I really and truly am. And, so there's no argument there, no whining from me at all. I'm enjoying every bit of this journey and hoping that I can inspire others to do that. So why do I have this box in my hand? Well, I have something coming in the mail. Sherry, one of you viewers, has sent me the templates for block 2. Which one is that? That would be the one that you can see on screen. You can see it's not finished. I created my templates off, when I was first looking at block 2, I created my templates, and I don't know how much accuracy there is, but I always wanted to see the actual templates that were sold with the Jen Kingwell block of the month. So she is loaning them to me. So I'm going to use them when I get them. And I'm going to just whip through making up all of the blocks in unit form and put them in here so that I can get them. I can't stop and sew them each one at a time right now because I'm in the middle of so many others. And it is also summertime. I'm going to have my grandbabies in, have my nieces and nephews in. I'm going to have to travel for a surgery again, that kind of thing. So, but what I'm going to do while I have those templates on loan is I'm going to cut up all the fabric and put them inside here. So I bought this box, this container, just for that purpose. This is from Walmart. I think it's $7, something like that. Not too bad. And it is it holds a 12 by 12 paper. Now we know that our blocks are generally, our full size 12-inch blocks are 12 and a half, but sometimes we get 15-inch blocks. Well, that's okay. For the price, I'll take it. That's fine. It's okay if my 12-inch block curls around the edges a little bit. I'm okay with that. If I have a 15-inch block, maybe one day I will splurge for one of those bigger boxes that host those, but I look at the price of those things and right now, I just can't spend the money that way. Right now, this is doing it for me. And so I wanted to inspire others that you can get some of these project boxes for a reasonable price. And this was delivered to my front door. You can't beat that. So I'm really excited to be getting the templates. I'm expecting those any day. And I had really hoped that I would be able to get at least all of, on the Pick A Petal, that I would get all of month 5's applique pieces done. But that's what this video is all about. In the last video where we were doing applique on Pick A Petal, I'd gotten the first block of month 5 applique blocks done. What I'm doing in this video is doing block 2. I got those done and, well, kind of done, you'll see. And then I've moved on to block 3. And it's only got one flower in it, and block 4 also only has one block in it. And they're not as complex, not my personal opinion anyway. So I think those are going to go together a little quicker. So I hope that I can I really want to kind of do a crunch time on Pick A Petal and to kind of knock out those applique pieces while I've got my mess out here, instead of being scattered between the blockheads and the Piece and Quilt Sampler. I want to kind of just do a hyper crunch on Pick A Petal for a little bit here. I think I'll feel better when I can get like all that cutting done and I can clean up my table here. That's kind of been weighing on me. I don't like messes. I know that they're a given. They're going to happen in life, and they happen when you're being creative and when you're rushing between things. And I've had to do that, be rushed too much in the past 6 weeks or so, and I'm tired of that. In my last video, I shared that there's been a distraction behind the scenes that I hadn't shared with you until the last video. I shared with you about the duplex, and I shared with you about the creativity that was sparked in me by being away from the studio, because the duplex pulled me away, and we did one whole video that was all just about the conversation of creativity. And in the last one, I shared with you some of the back end stuff about the channel. And that is that we hit the criteria for being monetized. However, there is a process for being monetized and getting actual, payments. And that is that you have to sign up through YouTube. You have to sign up for a Google AdSense account. I had glitches with that. And in the last video, I was telling you how thrilled I was that I thought I had it all figured out. But I put on the screen at the very end of it that by the time I had finished recording, about 2 or 3 hours later, I found out that I had been denied again. Well, I'm here to tell you that I think I got it figured out again. And I actually got a hold of either a really good AI robot or I talked to a real person. I don't know. It's all through chat. But I'm not unhappy about, just being a chat and not on the phone, because I actually like the chat because then there's a real transcript. I had that transcript sent to me so I can document in my head exactly what we discussed. And I just like it when there was, a conversation is in print. Not only can I remember what I said and what they said, and then if there's ever any discrepancy, we can go back to it and get on the same page, right? Well, I will make another video that's all about that, because I think it will help other YouTube creators who are undergoing the same kind of mishap that I've had. So basically, I'm having to wait another 32 days and change my email address, and changing it just before I sign up again, just before I apply for Google AdSense. So it is a process, and every time there's a process, there's opportunity for glitches, and I found some glitches. So it was taking me away from the studio a lot, so I haven't had the productivity in the studio that I've enjoyed prior to the duplex and then all this administrative stuff. But we're going to get there. We're going to get back to it. Summertime is just one of those things. It's always got a lot going on in it, a lot of diversity. We've got more daylight hours, so we do more inside of our days. You're probably doing the same, I bet. And you're probably saying, Dawn, just hush up. Don't worry about it. It's all good. It is summertime for everybody. I hope it's summertime for you. I hope all your children are out of school and things like that already. Our children get out mid-May. So I'm chomping at the bit to get my nieces and nephews in here. And tomorrow, no, what day is it today? Today is Friday for me. So on Sunday of this week, I get to bring 3 of them here with me for almost a week. And I'm not quite sure what all we're going to do, but I bet there's going to be some sewing involved. If so, maybe they'll let me share what they're doing. We'll see. I don't know. But I'm excited that they're going to be here. So it's my second time since I've been in this home and that I've had them here, but it's the first time that I've felt well and then I can actually participate and do things with them. So I'm really excited about them being here, and we'll see where that journey leads us. So a couple of weeks ago, I did some video clips, and I had planned on, going ahead and turning those into a proper video like this is now. But I'm telling you, this whole thing of being denied the AdSense, the Google AdSense, that kind of took the wind out of my sails. Not only did it take an exorbitant amount of time, I mean, probably 60 to 80 hours I've been working on that in the background. Oh, did you see that bird? It was a cardinal trying to get in here. Oh, I hope that's not an omen. So yeah, it was an exorbitant amount of time, 60, maybe even 80 hours, late nights, early mornings, all day during the days, just researching and trying to figure out what it is. Over the years, I've been an entrepreneur. I left corporate world in, what year was that? In 2011. It was my way of kind of morphing my professional life so that I can kind of maintain my health better, because I didn't know what was going on with my health, had no idea. And I didn't know I was going to continue to decline. But so I morphed out of corporate world into entrepreneurship. And then that required us, to set up a bunch of different email accounts and then Gmails. And so I morphed that business, and I morphed over like maybe 4 times before I had to give up on having any kind of proper business. So when I found out that I was denied for Google AdSense because I had a duplicate account, I had to go on the search and say, do I have a Google AdSense for one of the other businesses or what? And so I went down a rabbit trail for a little while thinking that I had a Google AdSense with one of my former clients that I had helped with their marketing, and a representative of that company and I spent over an hour on the phone together trying to sort it out. So I went down every rabbit trail possible. But I think I'm on the right trail, so don't worry. I think we're good, but I have to wait 32 days. Well, 30 more days at this point before I can reapply. But like I said, it all gets very tedious, and I'm going to save that for a standalone video so that somebody else who is interested in that kind of content can research it, find it, and get just that and not all this quilting stuff that surrounded it. So I was outside earlier today listening to Barbara Black while I put down more cardboard and mulch to define more of the garden space. Like I shared in that one video where we just talked about creativity, there's an area out next to the house that I'm trying to transform. And I'm doing it in 15, 20-minute spurts. Today, I gave it an hour, and it just about tapped me out because I did it a little bit too late in the day. But while I was out there, I was listening to Barbara talk about this, block 6. These are all of our applique pieces for block 6. So we've got, again, 4 of our log cabin blocks will have applique pieces in them. I have to look at my image and see where this one goes. Okay, for me, this row of applique that is month 6 will go on the right-hand side of the square. And I say for me, and it's because it depends on where this row goes, depends on which one of the photos you're following. And this is the one that I've been following all along, just is the picture I've been referencing. So my pieces go right over here. The ones I've done first, month 5, my first set of applique are these. Now I'll be working on these. I don't know which ones we're going to do next, top or bottom. We'll find out when we find out. I don't have to know right now. I worry about things I have to worry about while I have to worry about them. And that I don't have to. So I have to get caught up. That's what I have to worry about. So if you haven't gone to read Barbara's blog about this and watch her live that she did, it's been recorded, of course, on thequiltshow.com, their YouTube channel, then you'll get a lot of information. I like to listen to her first, and then I will go back and watch her more intensely. So whenever I get ready to start these, I'll do that. But I'm not there yet, like I just said. Where am I? So that's a perfect segue to the next video clip where I'm working on block 2 of the applique from the 5th month of the Quilt Show's Block of the Month with Jen Kingwell, Pick a Petal. But don't go anywhere. When it's all over, come back here and we'll finish out the video. But don't worry, I didn't forget about what I asked you guys to remind me to do. That was done as well. You'll find in the next set of video clips that I'm sharing with you, all the tediousness of the steps and my thought processes while I'm doing it. And I'm doing that on purpose. I want to be that quilter friend in the corner while you're working in the studio. You know how you just like to have some background noise of somebody talking about something that's familiar to you? Or if you are a brand new beginner and you want to feel better about yourself because you're watching somebody else learn too, and we all learn better as we're listening to how others are learning. So I'm sharing, and it makes it for a longer video. It also takes longer to edit these types of videos where they're long clips. But I think those videos have value. So I'm going to continue to do them for now, unless a whole bunch of you say, no, don't do them. Don't do that kind. We don't like that. I won't. You'll get a lot of diversity on this channel because it is a vlog style Learn With Me channel, because we are trying to encourage and motivate and inspire others to just, we don't have to be a Nick Jarrett. We are on our own journey, and it is okay. It is better than okay. It's wonderful. Okay, with that, I'm going to be quiet. You go watch the videos. We'll see you in a second. All right, we have another one of these situations where we're trying to get a bias strip out of a 2.5-inch strip. But fortunately, we don't have to get anything too long because this is the entire length. What is that? It is, you need to go under this circular piece, and that would take us to about 4.5 at our maximum point. So 4.5, we can get a 4.5, and we need to get about a 1.25 inches in order to get our, let's see, we want the sharpest curve we can get and get a 4.5 all the way over to 1/4. And I think I need to do it this way. Yeah, 4.5. Right there is our 4.5. So we're going to hit the outside edge. And then down here at the end, it's going to hit the outside edge. So we can get a diagonal biased piece that's 1.25 inch. Is that right? Yes. No, that's 4 inches. Sorry, we need 4.5. So that would be our 4.5. You can't see it underneath that suction cup. Yeah, right there. That's the sharpest diagonal that we can get. God, I had it on the paper. I need to reposition it now. 4.5. Yeah. Okay. It's not too bad. It's still going to give us a bias. We don't have a sharp curve that we're trying to make with this, so we're fine. We just need a little bit of a curve. See, this one almost doesn't even have a curve in it. It's almost straight. So we'll be fine with this. Oh, nice new sharp blade is so nice. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold, I think it was 3/16 over here, 3/16 over on that side as well, and that should leave me, I'm sorry, 3/8 and 3/8, and that should leave me in the middle, should leave me 1/2 inch, 4/8, because this is 10/8 altogether. 3/8, 3/8, and 4/8. So 3, 3, and 4 makes 10. 10/8, which is 1 1/4 inch. All right, now I need my iron heated up. Okay. I forget if I did this last time by marking it. I feel like I did. This is just a piece of the template material. Just eyeballing it on this side. Guys, it is just absolutely pouring outside. It's been doing it since the middle of the night. Well, it's been drizzly all day, overcast, just one of those days. Makes me really glad. I worked in the garden yesterday, and well, I shouldn't really call it a garden yet. I'm doing that because I am emotionally committed to the garden that it will be one day. Okay, see, we got a little bias. We can get a curve on that. No big deal. No problem whatsoever. I really didn't let my iron get too hot. I just yanked it off of the heat a little prematurely. Okay, this is supposed to be the other stem. Let me put this one on the design board. Okay, this one, we can get a good bias on this one, which is good because it's got a little bit more of a curve. See, that's a little bit more of a curve that we're trying to achieve, so we need a proper bias. And I did consider that whenever I picked out these fabrics. I think we mentioned that in the video where we picked out the fabrics. This fat quarter's not been messed with at all. I feel like this is longer. I feel like this stem is going to be longer. Is it just 4.5 as well? It is. It's actually a little bit less than a 4.5. Since I'm going to turn under this edge, I'm going to make it 4.5 though. Okay, 4.5 and by 1 1/4. So on this one, we've got a proper, pretty much a 45-degree angle. I think it's close enough anyway, but so you can see here, we're at 1 oops, that's 1.5. 1 1/4, 4.5 over at the 1/4 inch mark. That's our angle right there. Looks more like a 60-degree angle. But I guess I'm supposed to have a really sharp angle. So let me get this. I just want to learn to do things right. So let's see. I'm putting this line, I'm putting this 45-degree line on the edge of the fabric and the other one on the other edge, and that's going to be a 45-degree angle that we have here then. Okay, so if that's our 45-degree, but I don't need it to be that long, do I? That's 3/8 right there. Don't have to draw a line. This just gives me my 3/8. 3/8 all the way up and down. All right. Do we have a 1/2 inch? It's a little fatter than 1/2 inch up there. I feel like we got it crooked. Let's see. Yep, it's a little wide. Maybe it's because I didn't get, like I folded it over. Yeah, that'd be too much. I wonder how I got that off. That should be a little bit more like a half. Yep. Again, it's a little wider down here. I think that first one that I turned over, when I'm pressing it over the edge, I'm not keeping a good even amount. Like I'm using the tip of the iron instead of actually using my fingers to put it where it's supposed to be. So it's getting it's flaring out. And you can see it's doing the same thing here. I don't mind a little bit of a natural flare just because, you know, a stem will have some in it. That looks much better, doesn't it? Isn't that cute? All right, let's get our leaves put onto our freezer paper. I always want to call this parchment paper instead. I'm just going to hand, draw this, just kind of not quite eyeball it because I am following the lines I can see through the paper. I'm just saying it doesn't have to be real exact. It's just a leaf. One of these, let's see, that one's a different, I think she has them all different sizes from each other. Let's see. You guys, don't let me forget about these guys up here. I know I will. I'll keep on overlooking them. I could probably save some freezer paper, just use the other one twice. But I think for efficiency's sake, we'll cut this out twice. We'll cut it out twice. Okay, these guys get cut out of this, and these rectangular leaves get cut out of this, if I am following my memory correctly. Okay, be right back. We got these ready to cut out. All right, I didn't really get these two pieces far enough apart, but I'm gonna split the difference between them and it should be fine. It should be fine. It's not a huge deal that it's slightly less than 1/4 of an inch there. It feels a little weird being back in the studio after pretty much taking a week off. It was great to get the duplex, handed off to somebody else, and, I feel a lot of pride in what my son and I accomplished with that place. It was built somewhere in the first decade of the 20th century, between 1900 and 1910. It's not real clear on the records because it was part of a mill called Merrimack Mill. It was one of the duplexes that was used for the bosses. They called it the bosses row. The villagers lived on the other side of the street in a large neighborhood, over 300 duplexes there, and all of the homes were like under one permit with the city, so it's not real clear when this house was built, but it was somewhere in the first decade. And it had been abandoned and had been misused and had all kinds of issues with it, and we took it from really being an eyesore and needing, no one would have lived if we would have demolished it, to really looking nice and being positioned for somebody else to take it the rest of the way. Okay, so these guys are ready. Yay. What I did is I took these off, trimmed them down. Yeah, that's what I did. And then I reapplied them with heat. Y'all, I just got the cutest little video sent to me of my 5-year-old granddaughter riding her bicycle for the first time. It was precious. She was proud, and I saw it, and I was like, oh my gosh, how did that happen? Wasn't she just born? Time flies. The other one's going to be 8 months old next week. I just can't believe it. She's crawling, setting up. Seems like she was truly just born. Oh my gosh, I'm cutting the paper. Oh, shoot. Were y'all watching me do that, screaming at the screen? What did I talk about in my last video with you guys? This is a stress-free channel. We are not going to stress. I hope you guys enjoyed something about that video. It really meant a lot to me to share the sentiment with you that we need to enjoy what we're doing, and we need to enjoy other things. And when we do, we're better off. Our quilt making is better off. We're just better people all the way around. We make better art all the way around. It's fun to start to see something happening outside in the yard. It's just placeholders right now because I haven't properly laid down the pavers and don't know when I'll actually have that done. Maybe a long time. As long as my pavers don't break on me, I'll be fine. Voila! These go in my basket, fabric basket, and these go in the trash. Okay, I am trying to take off, there we go, what would eventually turn into the dog ears. So the point where this would meet over here and the point where this line would meet up there, I'm taking a diagonal. Let's see if that works out the way I think it should. Let's just do a little experimenting. If I do that, and then this one comes over, it should, yeah, I could probably make it a little bit closer yet. Wonder if I need to clip it just a little bit more and see what happens. Yeah, I think I'll be fine. Let's see. Let's see how it does. Let's take this to the iron, just do one at a time before I start cutting on that one. Don't know if I need to use my big iron for this or this little one. I really like this for fidgety stuff. I just turned it on, so it's not going to have any heat yet. just using it to kind of press it without heat until it warms up. Equivalent to finger pressing. Well, it's not a cold iron anymore, but it definitely is not warm yet. It's taking its sweet time. We're still going to have dog ears. Taking its sweet time, getting hot. Okay, so see how we still have dog ears? But that's fine, we can clip that away. It's not a big deal. I don't think it's a big deal. That's what we should have cut away. Instead of going at a diagonal like that, we should have gone in and taken out the corners. Okay, note taken. All right, that's fine. Take this out. This one is ready. This leaf, doesn't that look like a leaf to you? Isn't that cute? Okay, so basically we just need to cut out a rectangle here. Getting pretty close to where that edge is going to turn, but we're not getting all the way down there. That'll press over nicely. No problem. That will go there, that will go there, and this will go over. No problem. Okay, on these leaves, since they're all on a concave edge, no problem. We just do this all the way around. We just press, press, press. I'll take that over to the pressing mat and we'll do that right away. The only thing is we'll end up with a dog ear when this comes over, and that's fine. We'll just clip it. Okay, we can do that. Let's take all this to the pressing mat. Thought I was recording, but I wasn't. Got that one, like I pressed it over little by little, and it looks pretty good. I didn't do any clipping. I need to get pressing mat that's got a little bit of an angle to it and is about a foot higher, so I don't have to bend my head over. This is already pretty tall. I don't know, I think it's 42 inches. I need something that's like right in front of my face without me having to bend over, especially on this tedious stuff where you got to look at it for a little bit of time. If I didn't have nails, I couldn't be doing what I'm doing right here. So y'all don't be freaking out. I'm not going to burn myself. I was using my nail. I'm going to press it from the top side before I do any trimming. Gives me some crisper edges. And it's been pressed from both sides. Okay. Should be easier because it's not quite as small. I don't know for sure that this is a smaller point. I think it is. It looks like it is, just eyeballing it. And it sure gets hot, so maybe it really is a better one to use. Just picked up something. There's some starch right here. It's picked up on. Okay, this seems terribly tedious to me. It should not be this hard. If everybody's having to spend this much time on one little leaf, then I don't think anybody would be appliquing. So what am I doing wrong? You can tell right here, what I did wrong is when I clipped it, I did not leave myself a lot to be turned under. And so now that I took that paper out, it's a less defined edge. I knew it when I clipped it that it was a bad angle, but it was too late. Got a little bit of a point right there and right there, but I'm not going to lose sleep over it because I plan on doing some stitching, embroidery type stitching around my applique. Not only to hide my flaws, but because I like texture. I really like texture. I feel like this quilt screams for it. That one was a lot less hard. Okay. Everybody's ready to go. Oops, this one's not. Totally missed it. But that'll be quick and easy. Okay, so we have, what do we have? Does this go on this? No, this goes over here. And these go over here. Need to get some good pins. First, let's put this guy where he belongs. He goes underneath, like that. And they have this having a pretty good arch. It comes down to over here, okay? We can do that. Secure these two together. Okay, why is my pen not working? My fingers are not working. Guess I should put the tip of this under there too. Yeah, that makes sense. They have this one coming straight out and meeting on that tip. Okay. Oh boy. Not get my fingers to do what I need them to do today. I almost feel like I should hand stitch these just so, since they're being fiddly. One there. Boy, picking up a regular pen after using these magic pens, totally different world. Love the magic pens. I'm going to leave that because I think I may hand stitch it and I can be finicky with it when I'm hand stitching it. That's going to be really cute. Check that out. Isn't that going to be cute? Oh my goodness. All right. So where did they have these guys? First, let's get this locked down where they had it. It goes a little bit oh, thank goodness I've found my other magic pens. They just make all the difference in the world. They just glide in between the fabric. Like just, you don't have to push. It just finds its own way. You just kind of guide it. Total game changer. Come on, I know you got enough bias on you that you can arc. Okay, so where do these guys go? All right, that's where I'm going to call it for the evening. I want to be fresh before I decide how I'm going to get this applique down. I'm going to machine stitch it, you know, pin it differently or and machine stitch it, or if I'm going to hand stitch it, which I'm really favoring right now. Tomorrow is Sunday and it'd be a nice day to do something relaxing like some hand stitching. Today would have been a great day because it was raining all day. I don't know, stay tuned. We'll think about it in the morning. I feel like that block is not wanting to lie flat now. So just in case you thought I had forgotten, I did not. I did actually do the little dots. Where are they? Do you remember me asking you to make sure that I put these dots, those little bitty round dots? Can't even see them on this, but they're there. I didn't forget them. I actually did them. And it is so gratifying to put a little basting strip around your applique piece. Just give it a little tug and it just folds over your template. Voila, you got the perfect circle. You would have the perfect circle if I wasn't using freezer paper. I do think there's something to be said for using a stiffer template, you know, your heat resistant templates, whether it's whatever acrylic you want to use that is heat resistant. Because my edges to my circles were not perfect, but that's okay. It's okay that they're wonky. I have no problem with that. Nature is not always perfect. Oh, talk about nature. While I was outside today, putting down some more mulch, I noticed another mushroom. I don't know where these things come from. They're not there, and the next day they're like 3 or 4 inches high. Anyway, this beautiful mushroom, look at this guy. Isn't that something? I looked it up, and Google says it's a boletus, B-O-L-E-T-U-S, and says it's edible, but I don't trust Google. I don't care. I'm never going to pick a wild mushroom and cook it, clean it, eat it, and all that stuff. Never, ever. If you find I've done that, someone has put a gun to my head, and even then I probably wouldn't do it because I'm allergic to mushrooms, because I might as well take the bullet because a mushroom would be a lot more unpleasant. Anyway, I keep on finding these mushrooms out there. I'm telling you, nature is just wild, isn't it? So that's why I don't mind that the little dots of my flower, my applique flower, are not perfect. This entirety of this quilt is a little wonky. Not as wonky as you get with improv quilts, but I mean, look at these applique flowers. They're not your standard realistic flowers. These are wonky, just fun flowers. And I love them. That's partly why I like the quilt. So remember in the last video, we worked on cleaning my mat, and then I showed you my little bit of a thread haul that I did. So I went to extremes. I did 100, Invisifil, some cottonized polyester, 100 weight. And then I did these, which is a number 8 Wonderfil pearl cotton. And then today I was watching The Last Homely House. But our wonderful host of The Last Homely House was talking about threads in the video that I was watching. And she's put together a slow stitch box. And I wish she was not overseas, because I bet you the shipping from there to here would make it not desirable. But my point is, I did not realize that you can get pearl cottons through Aurifil that are on a spool that can go inside your sewing machine. That was such a big aha moment for me. I had no idea. So that was one of the things I've been missing about. I want some texture, I want some depth, I want some of my stitches to show when it comes to quilting, and I want some of them to show when it comes to applique too. And that's why I bought these outside of my applique pieces, and do a little bit of cantha embroidery, I guess is what they call it. Anyway, just thought that I'd point that out for any of you who don't know that you can get a size 12 Aurifil pearl cotton that goes on your machine. That's a beautiful thing. All right, my friends, with that, we're going to call this video done. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for encouraging me, inspiring me. Please do the same for anybody in your circle who is trying to learn and who is trying to step into this quilting community. It is a wonderful, beautiful place to be. Like, everybody is like open arms, welcoming you into it. And it's just the coolest thing. It's a place to feel good. And it's a place to enjoy. It's a place to enjoy being creative in exploring. We're all different. We see creativity differently. We see our projects differently. You can give me and you the exact same pattern and even the exact same fabric choices, and we're going to produce different quilts. It happens because we're all unique, and I love that about it. But the thing that is really beautiful about the quilting community, we're going to really appreciate the other persons. No one has any animosity here. No one belittles anybody. Everybody is so uplifting. It's beautiful. So the water here is beautiful. Step on in. Come on into the deep end with me. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.